This is the Stormy Willow podcast, a lighthearted, balanced examination of the paranormal. Hi friends, welcome to the show. I'm your host Adele.
Well, hello Adele, it's Sarah here. How are you?
I am good, and it is in the middle of Leo season.
You know what? It's also your almost birthday.
It is. That's kind of why I said that.
Yeah,
that's a way to bring it up, but not bring it up.
I picked up what you were laying down. Yeah, you were like, yeah, it's the middle of Leo season, but
you know what's also in the middle of Leo season? My birthday.
Yeah,
and
right.
Dad's birthday.
We didn't know that. Spoken like a true Leo, it's all about you.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans for your big 35th birthday?
No. I mean, we don't know anybody here, so it's not like we can throw a party.
Yeah, well, is there
Um,
anything fun you want to do, or like you would go out to eat somewhere?
actually, well, that weekend it's the Santa Fe Carnival, so it's
that
you know,
could be fun.
so we might head up there that Saturday.
Beautiful.
And then this Saturday is some sort of pagan event in Albuquerque for I don't know, celebrating this past full moon. So they're like, come and raise vibrations and have free food and drinks.
Hell yeah, free food and drinks always raises my vibrations.
Yeah, so I'm kind of down to check that out.
Why not? That sounds so cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Like you always have cool events like that going on.
Yeah, and Zozobra's coming up September 2nd.
Yeah, I remember that from last year.
Yeah, in case you guys don't know what that is, it's the burning of Old Man Gloom. So it's like this giant marionette puppet, and people fill it full of their gloomy notes and stuff that made them sad or frustrated from the previous year, and then you burn it.
But you know what I think the coolest thing is each year they do a theme. And so, wasn't it Michael Jackson last year?
Yeah,
or one of the
last
years?
year it was and what's really cool is I think this year's the 98th year, so we're getting close to
the 100th.
That's gonna be crazy.
Whoa! Do you know what is it always a surprise what they do, like how they decorate it?
I think, yeah, it's usually a surprise. They'll start to tease you with some local artists who are putting it together, so they'll show you pieces of him before he's put together.
It is really cool. You'll definitely have to share with us on social, because I remember when you did it last year, I was not familiar with this. I don't think you knew what you were quite getting into either, but it looked like such a cool event.
Yeah, it was really fun. We're gonna go earlier this year so we can get closer.
Yeah.
I mean, this marionette puppet, he's several stories tall. It's huge.
Insane. I'm gonna mail you my stuff to burn.
Okay.
I need to do.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so fun. I really don't have anything super exciting going on. Took the day off and cleaned out my storage unit. So I mean, that was a nice weight lifted.
Yeah.
I don't think that was really a fun event, but it was a necessary event.
I had a summer half day. Thank you. My company. I don't want to name where I work. I think that might be creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so appreciate that. So I took a nap while watching Ghost Adventures.
I love that. That's always a nice way to spend a summer afternoon, or any afternoon really.
Yeah.
Well, if you don't want to take a nap and you want to find some really cool events, I've got 3 really awesome ones I want to tell you guys about.
Okay.
All right. So the first one, I want to do this so flippin' bad. It's a creature feature at the drive-in in Gettysburg, Virginia. And it's a whole thing. They have vendors, the whole 9 yards. And you get a creature feature. And it looks like they were also you could submit, I don't know if they might already be past the cutoff, but you could submit if you're, into film, you could even submit your work to be shown at the creature feature. So I just think that sounds so freaking retro and awesome.
And this coming. Oh, sorry.
That's going on August 20, the weekend of August 26th through the 28th.
That's funny because, not to take over, your events, but I was listening to Paranormal 60, which I highly recommend if you like paranormal podcast. And I think they're doing something in Gettysburg this weekend. Yeah, the Gettysburg Bash is the weekend of the 19th through the 21st.
Nice. I feel
So,
like Gettysburg's got it going on.
Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of paranormal investigator kind of meet and greets. And it sounds like a lot of fun. So you can check that out on paranormal60.com. But yeah, that was just funny. I guess a lot of happenings in Gettysburg over the next few weeks.
Gettysburg's getting ready for spooky season. I'm just saying, like, if this is what they're putting out in August, you just wait till what they're probably going to do in October. I'm just saying, like, I'm feeling you, Gettysburg. Also, there is CreepyCon Halloween and Horror Convention going on August the 26th to the 28th in Knoxville, Tennessee. The booths look like out of this world awesome. If you're a Halloween horror fan, holy crap. Like,
I thought you were about to say a Halloween horror.
You're a Halloween, or that too. I mean, that would definitely be your venue. But it just looks so fun. Like, I could definitely max out a credit card there. Like, it's like, I think I have cool Halloween stuff. No, I don't. Like, I was just like kind of cruising through. I'm like, this is epic. And then last but not least, we've got Monster Mania that's happening this weekend, August 12th through the 14th in Hunt Valley, Maryland. I'm sorry, actually, this will air after that. So I put Hunt Valley, Maryland's going to be September 30th through October the 2nd. So this will air after you hear that anyway. So Monster Mania, Hunt Valley, Maryland, September 30th through October the 2nd. They're going to have famous like meet and greets, vendors, costume contest. It looks pretty freaking epic as well. And I want to go to one of these. I've never been to a horror festival, believe it or not. And I want to check it out because the booths just look really freaking cool.
Yeah, I had only gone to that one in Chicago, and it was so much fun. It wasn't even very big.
And you got me the coolest stuff too. So, and Herman here is in the studio with me, and he's like all about it. He's like flipping the shit out. Like, I want to go so bad.
Yeah. I mean, what was really cool is Sven Gulli was actually at the
what is it? What is it? Dad calls him Stephen Gulli.
He always what is he? I don't know. Like.
She called him Steven though. I'm like, Steven? What?
Like Steve Gulli, and it's like,
yeah, I think he called him like Steve Gulli or Steve Cooley or something. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
And then I was talking to him about Elvira, and he was like, the lady with the big boobs.
Like, yeah.
I was like, okay.
She's so much more than that, Dad.
I was like, yeah, that's typical.
Oh, Elvira. I do love her so.
Oh, yeah.
She's amazing. She was on an episode of The Goldbergs.
Oh, really?
She looked amazing. Like, I don't think that lady ages. Like, she freaking like,
doesn't.
She's drinking like some magic water or something, but I need to get in on that. She looks phenomenal.
Well, it doesn't go in the sunlight. Keeps that
doesn't go in the sunlight.
That's the trick.
That's true. That's the trick. That is the trick.
Yeah, I remember when she was a judge on RuPaul's Drag Race, like one of the, like I think the second or third season, maybe. Yeah, it was like one of the earlier seasons. That was a lot of fun.
I bet she was a blast.
Oh, she seems like so much fun.
I love her. I'm a fan for sure.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, so can you believe it? Like, the middle of August is here. Guys, we're creeping up to the most wonderful time of year. I'm ready. I tried to talk Steven into letting me go ahead and put out some Halloween this very day. And he was like, I ain't telling you today. But I do feel like the studio, that's also my office, I think I want to make it like a Halloween here like all year round. It's my happy place.
That'd be pretty cool.
I
think I'm gonna do that when I move my studio into like one of our big closets.
Yes. So yeah, I'm gonna do that for sure because I kind of want to, like, I'm feeling the feel of like the Grandma Aggie's room when she moved in on Halloween Town 2. Like, that's kind of the feel I'm going for.
I think I'll probably go for something more like modern vampire.
They have some really spooky stuff at Michael's that's like that. It's like vampire, kind of like, not really vampires, like kind of skeleton look. It's kind of cool.
Like just kind of gothic.
Yeah, it's just very goth. It's really cool.
Like gothic antique-y.
Yes, Yes, gothic. That's what I'm gonna start calling my vibe. I'm gothic antique.
There you
I'm
go.
gothic vintage.
I'm gothic golden girl.
I'm a gothic golden girl. I'm gothic golden. Yes, I'm gonna start wearing like muumuus that have spider webs on them or something. I don't know.
Those are pretty great.
I feel like that's definitely something, right? It's like that whole thing is in like what is it, like the grandma like beach like vibe that's real popular right now. That's not what it's called.
You know
It's
what?
like the Martha's Vineyard.
I just dress the same until it's back in style.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I just kind of do me, and I thought that's what you do nowadays. I don't think there is just one style. I think anything kind of goes. It seems. I don't know.
It's like, yeah.
Maybe that's what I tell myself.
Yeah, maybe. Like some of the kids I see around town, I'm like, oh, wait, you look like the kids I went to school with at your age. I guess that's back.
Yeah. I'm ready to. It's way too hot right now, but I'm ready to bring out my my Doc Martens.
Oh yeah.
It's just way too hot right now. I won't be able to wear those here till probably January.
Yeah. It's a price you pay.
It is. Like I mean, you know, we have to get pumpkins and flip flops. Sometimes Christmas trees and flip flops. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. I think it should start turning pretty nice here over the next few weeks. And
Yeah.
Our pumpkin patch in our backyard, we had 3, now we have 7 pumpkins.
Whoa! You have like a patch almost, like
Yeah.
a patch.
So thank you, little bees and pollinators. You're doing a great job.
I don't think mine are doing so well. I just have like just stems and like leaves. I don't have an actual pumpkin yet. I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I don't know why the hell our pumpkins are doing so great here in the freaking desert. It's so weird.
Magic. I love it. I love it. Well, speaking of magic, I hope everybody charged their rocks last night. It was the epic full moon, and it was supposed to be a really high energy day. So I hope you had a really good day. I had a really good day.
I had a good day.
I had a rough week, but yesterday was awesome. So I felt the vibes for sure. And
You had a rough week, huh?
I did. So, I mean, I was wondering if you could tell me a little bit about that. What I can plan for this coming week, your birthday week, and Dad's birthday week.
According to the astrological forecast, I think a lot of people had a rough week last week.
I did. People were just weird. Like I had a hard time getting anything done. People were difficult to work with. I was afraid I had a COVID scare, and I was in bed by 8 o'clock like every night except for last night. I've been a mess. So do tell as I sip on that. Have you ever had a Vizzy hard seltzer? They're not bad.
I think
A little
I
sweet.
Oh no, I've had High Noon.
Oh yeah, that one's good too. But this one, I kind of wanted to take a break from my high life.
I told you I had to take a break from wine because I kept blacking out.
But yeah, I don't think you shared that with our listeners, but you did share that with me.
Sorry, Mom. No, like it's the alcohol content is way too high for me with how quickly I drink. So I'm back on beer for the week.
I'm not a sipper, so that's why I really feel like the seltzers work well for me. Because I'm a chugger, so wine is hard for me too, and it'll get you.
So I'm enjoying my local Santa Fe Brewing Company IPA.
Yeah, I love the flag. I thought they put it on everything. It's such a cool flag. I like
everybody loves the Zia Sun.
It is really cool.
So the 7K IPA by Santa Fe Brewing Company. And we are looking for sponsors.
Yes, we are. We'll come investigate your brewery.
Oh yeah, we'd love to.
Well, maybe we can record there.
We can have a boo and brew. We would do a live show.
I'm gonna throw it out there. Putting
it right out there. We can somehow get Bojangles to cater or do a food truck.
Yes.
It'll be East Coast, West Coast mix up. Like
I think it would be a good time.
I'm
biscuits
all
and
about
beer. What? Yes. All the carbs and the scares. I'm for it.
A biscuit and beer. I'm good. And those fries with the
seasoned fries. Oh, guys, if you don't live near Bojangles,
you don't know what you're missing.
I don't even know. It's just wonderful. And if you live in the South, everybody always has a Bojangles teacup in their car, I feel like. And if you live here, you just know. You're like, yes, I know.
It's like they don't even say Bojangles anymore. It's just Bo. Because everybody knows what it is.
Here in the South, the yellow and red mean one thing, not McDonald's, Bojangles.
Bojangles.
It's like, no. It's both time. Oh, I want that for dinner tonight.
Well, there you go. See, it's just solve problems. But yeah, so getting into the weird energy, according to the forecast, over the past few weeks, you may have been feeling kind of scattered, overthinking things, or even like a bit stuck. I even saw one source say it's kind of like going through college finals all over again, kind of feeling like all over the place. So this will continue until the 14th, which is Sunday, I think, when this airs. So it's gonna peak on the 14th when the sun faces Saturn. But the good news is Mars connects with Pluto I think on the same day as the sun faces Saturn. So that will give you a little bit of confidence and like courage while you're in the midst of feeling this kind of chaos.
That's some good news for sure.
It's still going to be kind of meh. But even better news, March syncs up with Pluto. Oh, sorry. Where I skipped a line. On the 16th, Mercury and Uranus synchronize. And on the 18th.
Oh, what? Is there something going on the 18th? I don't know why you mentioned that.
I mean, obviously this is meant to be on the 18th. On the 18th, Venus and Jupiter synchronize. So that means that these planets are kind of working together, if you will. Because I didn't really know what that meant, but that's the best way I can put it, because astrology is still very confusing.
It's very hard.
To me, and
we're basic.
So those are two really good things. So all of those things bring about indulgence, celebration, and fun.
Whoa. So something's going down on your birthday. Even if you're not having a party, you're going to be indulgent and having fun.
Yeah. So 16th through the 18th, you're going to be in party mode, ready to cut loose. So that'll be nice. Which is a good thing. And then, so you don't get too out of control. It's kind of a short period of time. On the 20th, Mars enters Gemini, and this brings a sense of adventure. So that might be a bit of like organized chaos, if you will.
I like organized chaos.
So yeah, you know how Geminis are. They are the twins, so they can have kind of the duality, but they also are really deep thinkers and think every single side of everything.
Yes, they are.
It's almost like ADD in the middle. I would say organized chaos is the best way to describe
I like that. I like what you're putting down there. Yes. So it's not a bad forecast for your birthday week. I like it.
And for my birth's sake, on the 18th, I thought I'd read Leo's specific horoscope.
I like it.
The week of the 14th through the 20th. And then this site, purewow.com.
Oh, that's a good site.
Yeah, they actually give each zodiac sign a weekly mantra, so I thought I'd read everybody's just to kind of give you a heads up.
Okay, I like it. Let's do it.
All right, so for Leo, last week's full moon brought a critical moment for one of your closest relationships. And as the week begins, you might be feeling some regret or disappointment about what transpired. That means nothing to me. But it might be because I'm isolated and don't know anybody out here, but I don't know. If you're feeling that, sorry, just roll with it. It's never easy to set boundaries, but just because someone is upset doesn't mean it was the wrong decision. Things lighten up as love planet Venus connects with bountiful Jupiter on the 18th, bringing a boost in confidence to end your birthday season in style. Whether it's trying a new restaurant, getting into deep conversations with your favorite people, or taking a class you've always wanted to try, spend the weekend expanding your mind.
I like it.
So the mantra for Leo that week is, if I learned something, it was worth it.
Worth it.
I agree. I agree with that all the time, though.
That's very true. It's hard to remember when you're learning and it's not a good learn, or it doesn't feel like a good learn.
So very quickly, I'll go through the rest of the zodiac signs.
Yeah, please.
So, Aries, keep moving. Taurus, take a break, which is really funny because I know an Aries and a Taurus in a relationship. So you guys maybe need to just take your own separate paths that week.
Yeah, that's gonna be do your own thing. Do you that week.
You do you. Gemini, I embrace where I am at today. Cancer, abundance flows in my direction.
Heck yeah.
Virgo, inspiration will find me. That sounds like a Virgo. Libra, joy is my prerogative. Scorpio, stick with the process.
All right, Scorpio friends. Yeah.
Talking to you, Mom. Sagittarius, I'm inspired by who surrounds me. Capricorn, I release what isn't mine. Aquarius, I ask and I receive. And lastly, Pisces, I deserve good people and good things.
All very good mantras.
Yeah. So
I love that.
That's a little taste of what next week looks like.
I feel like it's going to be a good week.
Yeah.
I love it.
Party time.
Give those Leos in your life an extra hug this week.
And some showers of love, obviously.
Obviously, because, they don't get enough of that.
Yeah. Tell them their hair looks good. Tell them they lost weight. They look good.
I love it. In my coffee cup this morning. So I just want to give a shout out to the Mercantile. You know how much if you're in the Rock Hill area, how much I love them. They're the reason we have a Pride here, and they just they're a great store, but they just do so much for our community. And they also have a cafe. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? And they make a really good chai latte, and they put little personal messages on your cup. And on my cup this morning, it says, you're doing great things. And I was just like, oh, it was just so sweet. Just, I don't know, it meant a lot. I thought it was really a nice gesture.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's nice to lift people up. Well, Adele, I really loved your story last week about the Flying Dutchman. And if you'll recall, if you're new to the podcast, we spin a wheel at the end and it tells us what we're going to choose. And so I got phenomenons. And so I had a really hard time picking a topic because a phenomenon, in case you don't know, it's an exceptional or an unusual or an abnormal person, thing, occurrence. So that could be 10,000 different things. And so it's really hard for me it literally took me 2 days to figure out what the heck I wanted to cover.
Did you choose you two?
How did you know? If I could have found a way to put them in here, I would have. But with the Flying Dutchman and just kind of talking about that, I thought, why not cover the Bermuda Triangle?
That's a good one.
So that's what I went with.
So you're just sticking with the sea to scare the shit out of me.
I thought, this would be a really good one to do for Adele because, but this one includes a lot of things have happened here. Obviously, aircraft has gone missing. Ships have gone missing, and I actually have a situation where a lighthouse keeper has gone missing on the land. So we have a lot to unpack, and then we have a lot of theories to talk about as well.
The lighthouse keeper, could that have been possibly Florida Man?
Well, let's get into it. What do you say? Let's do it. Let's get into it. First, I'm going to cite my sources. I have a lot of sources I'm super thankful for. And so I'm just going to read them off. First, I'm going to thank my friends at wikipedia.org, theconversation.com, which is for curious kids. And they really broke this down for me. So I really appreciate it.
So you went to the Reading Rainbow episode of the Bermuda Triangle.
That's where I started, and it was very helpful. And I even have this excellent map that really broke things down for me in a real nice way.
A funny aside though, with the Bermuda Triangle, I for the longest time as a kid thought it was the Bermuded.
The Bermuda Triangle.
I don't know. It just sounded like that to me. And
it just sounded right.
What does that mean?
Yes. No, I like that. Also went to www.unmuseum.org. And last but not least, www.theweek.com.uk.
UN Museum. Oh, like the United Nations?
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
think
cool.
it's cool. There's stuff everywhere on this. Like the sources are unreal. So it was kind of hard to, like just give me the basics here. So I'm just going to start out in case you're not familiar with the Bermuda Triangle and like how it got popular. So the story, okay, so it's referred to as the Bermuda Triangle. It's also been referenced as the Devil's Triangle. And basically what it is it's basically a triangle off the coast of Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. So they like make a little triangle like Florida, Bermuda, Puerto Rico. It makes a little triangle.
But
so
only Bermuda wanted to claim it.
I guess. Or I guess because if you look at it, Bermuda's the tip. Maybe that's why. It's like we're the tips. So
they're like, no, it's our triangle.
Yeah. Well, Florida probably was like, we got enough.
They were like, Florida was already like, what's a triangle?
I was not trying to even go there, so I was just gonna leave that alone. But you went there. So, how does this become so popular? What is it? Let's just get to it. So, basically, it captured a lot of attention about 56 years ago. So, there was an American author by the name of Vincent Gaddis, and he wrote an article in a magazine to describe this area in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Florida, and he referred to it as the Devil's Triangle. And
I like that name better.
I do too. So throughout the decades, it's been discussed in 1,000 movies. I mean, you've all heard about it, I'm sure. But what was the hype about it? Like, why did it get so famous? So it really began getting a lot of attention. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to go through every single incident because we would be here like for hours. So I'm just going to hit like the big ones. So this really began in 1945, where 5 U.S. Navy planes and 14 men disappeared in this area doing routine training. And so the flight leader was Lieutenant Charles Taylor, was overheard on the radio saying, "We are entering white water. Nothing seems right. We don't know where we are. The water is green. There is no white." And that was the last call that they heard.
We're entering white water.
We are entering white water. Nothing seems right. We don't know where we are. The water is green, no white.
Sounds like a witch curse.
Right?
Like a spell. It rhymes.
It does rhyme. You're right. You're right about the white water.
Bubble, bubble.
Whoa! So the U.S. Navy investigated, and they ultimately reported the incident as case unknown. And so from the time that incident was classified as that until the mid-1980s, 25 more small planes disappeared in the same area while passing through the Bermuda Triangle. And they were never seen again, and there was never any wreckage found. So, of course, that leads people to think, well, where is it? Like, how come there's no wreckage found? Where has it gone? So
because it's the fucking ocean and it's gigantic and deep. That's what I think.
Adele's got your theories. So that's the most famous. I mean, there are a ton. There were a ton of airline occurrences that happened between 1945 and 2017. So I'm not gonna. That's the main one. I'm not gonna list them all. You get the gist. But not only were planes a problem going missing in this area, so were ships. So I'm going to rock your world with some history right here. In 1492, Christopher Columbus, on October 11th, and his crew, they were on the Santa Maria, and they reported seeing unknown lights one day before landing in the Gahani. So they also sailed around this area and reported strange activity.
He was a real asshole.
Oh,
this is India.
Huh?
Oh, this is India. Like, no, you guys aren't Native Americans. You're Indians. Get out of here, Christopher.
Yeah, he was not a good guy.
Why couldn't he have... Never mind. I don't want to wish bad on people, but really, like, he was one of the people that didn't sink.
Yeah, he was one that the triangle didn't want him.
The devil was like, yes, do
go. Just go. We don't want him here. You can pass. Bye.
We aren't collecting people like you, Chris. Okay.
You know what, Chris? You need to get on the Santa Maria and get the hell out of here. Don't come back to the Devil's Triangle again.
Get your ass out of here.
Yeah, that's what really went down. In case we basically tell you what really went down here at Stormy Willow.
Yeah,
like, people put it so nicely in like these research papers that we read, but we tell you how it really went down.
Yeah, it's like, come on. People weren't always so proper. It was just like, hey, get the hell out of here.
The Devil's Triangle is like, Chris, we don't, no, we're not about that. You gotta go. We can't with you. Bye. Okay. So that was the first, something funky. They saw weird lights, whatever. All right. So the next big ship that went missing was the USS, and I love this name, Cyclops. And so this was one of the first stories connected with the legend of the Devil's Triangle, and it was also the most famous ship lost in the region. It disappeared in 1918. It was 542 feet long and was launched in 1910 and served a collier, which is a ship that carries coal. So it basically had coal on it. And so the U.S. Navy during World War One, I guess they would just transfer coal for World War One. And the vessel was on its way from Bahia, Salvador, and then to Baltimore, Maryland. So they were just kind of like going up the coast.
Okay. Yep.
But they never arrived. So after it made an unscheduled stop at Barbados on March 3rd and 4th to take additional supplies, it disappeared without a trace. No wreckage from the ship was ever found, and no distress signal was ever received. The deaths of the 306 crew and passengers of the USS Cyclops remains the single largest loss of life in the U.S. Navy history, not directly involving combat.
That's pretty crazy.
Pretty bad, yes.
Makes me think it couldn't have been pirates with such a big fleet. Well,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like a big crew,
right.
Rather, not the fleet.
Or you think they would have just taken like the supplies and the coal,
or like, yeah.
And like, they may have killed them, but I would still think you would find the vessel or something.
There might be
some kind of wreckage or something, you know?
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
Next one was, I know how much you love ship life.
Oh wait, this was during World War One?
Yeah.
I wonder if they were taken captive, but that would be kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty weird.
It's very weird. So the next one is SS Marine Sulphur Queen, and it vanished as well. So the SS Marine Sulphur Queen was a tanker ship carrying molten sulfur, and it also disappeared off the southern coast of Florida in 1963. The crew of 39 was all lost, and no wreckage from the tanker was ever found. So that's the weird thing I think about all of this, is that nothing's ever found. You know what I mean? Like, and we're talking about, like, especially the Cyclops. I mean, this is a major vessel. Like, this isn't just some,
like Gilligan's little tour boat.
Exactly. Like, this is, you figure it carried over 306 crew members. Like, coal, like, that's a big vessel. So, like, especially we're not talking about.
Yeah. You would think you would find something.
Yes. So those are the and there were also 17 more incidents that have happened by ship from the years 1492 to 2022. So
still a pretty active spot.
So let's talk about the incident that occurred on land. This is the weirdest
that's not
one.
even fair. I hate that. No.
This is the weirdest one.
I freaking hate that. No, you're supposed to be safe from all of that if you're on land. That's not cool.
I'm about to shipwreck your world.
What did sharks walk up onto the land?
Okay,
that's gonna be the worst thing.
So there is a lighthouse. Okay, it's called Great Isaac, and it's on the small part of the Bohemian island of Great Isaac Cay. And it was erected in 1859, and it was located about 20 miles northeast of the I guess I'm saying this right, the Bimini Islands, and it was accessible only by boat, okay? So this lighthouse stands about 151 feet tall. And so August 4th, 1969, the station was discovered to have been abandoned by its two keepers who were never found. Many believe that the Bermuda Triangle claimed the keepers, and they were two more victims lost to the Devil's Triangle. Oh, it just started thunder in here when I said that.
I thought you farted. I heard something rumble. I really was like,
well, it was the clouds, not my ass.
Okay.
You must know.
Friction in the sky, not the tummy. Okay.
Yeah. Wow, thanks, Del. What do you think about this? Like, what are your thoughts so far about, like, the no wreckage? Like, the people just, I mean, like, do you have any, like...
See, I have a hard time with that because it's the ocean. You know what I mean? Things move with currents. Like,
so you don't think it's, like, necessarily strange that no wreckage was ever found, like, these big vessels or
I think planes. It's where maybe with later cases, whenever they do take into account, like, all right, well, we know the currents go this direction at this speed, and they can roughly estimate where things move.
Right.
So they kind of get a general idea for where something should be. But the ocean is so vast and so deep. Even if you were within like 5 miles of where you think something is, which would be pretty damn accurate, I think it would still be so fucking hard to find it.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I've got
but sorry, just to finish that thought. But
sorry, you're like, excuse me.
No. Sorry, it's kind of like second thought, but I didn't want to miss it. It's like while I'm on this train of thought.
Leo.
I know. Hey, shut up! I'm talking. No. But why are these things sinking? Or, you know what I mean? So it's like one thing, it's like, did it vanish? That's one thing, if it vanished. Right. Another thing is like, well, why is it sinking? Even if it's just sinking. That? Like, what caused that?
Obviously, it's happening a lot, right?
Yeah.
So I have this broken down into two theories. First are the fun theories, and the next are the boring theories.
Oh, probably the true theories.
Yeah, the true theories possibly are not my favorite, but let's start with the fun ones first. What do you say? Okay, this is my favorite.
What are we going to be Mulder and Scully for like Halloween? Like,
ooh, we could. That's a great idea.
But you would have to be Mulder, I guess.
Yes. All right. Fun theory number 1. Are you ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Rogue waves. Have you ever heard of rogue waves?
I've heard of rogue verse wave. No.
Well played. Well played. Okay, well,
no,
according to a Channel 5 documentary,
that sounds legit.
The Bermuda Triangle enigma, scientists now believe conditions are that they're just right for a massive rogue wave, and have used simulators to demonstrate how these could put ships at risk. So, there are storms to the south and north which come together, says the University of Southampton oceanographer Simon Boxall. And if there are additional ones from Florida, it can be a potentially deadly formation of rogue waves. So basically, you're getting waves from every single direction.
So they're saying that this is like a weird location where all of that collides together from like different jet streams or something?
Yes. So like you get like these crazy waves coming in at all angles. Instead of just like one way, you're getting them in 3 different directions.
Well, that would freaking suck. No, thank you.
Creating a rogue wave, which they believe caused this. So the Huffington Post reports, and I'm basically just reading this to you guys, but the Huffington Post reports that rogue waves of this type of wave could reach 100 feet tall, which would be on par with the largest wave ever recorded, which was one of a 100-foot tsunami triggered by an earthquake and landslide in Alaska in 1958. So they're saying that could be a possibility.
So they're saying these waves are just naturally as tall as a tsunami without it being a tsunami?
Yep. And a calling it a rogue wave.
See, there again, the ocean's so freaking big. how do you even study that? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I think it could be possible. It could be a freak phenomenon.
Like, I've been hearing all these things on TikTok about satellite imaging just maybe seeing a megalodon in the waters,
Oh, yeah.
and that a lot of great white sharks, they think this megalodon is eating them because they will be in one place and then rapidly like way further away and dead in another place, and they're like, there's no way a great white can swim that fast if something's taking them there. How would you know though? Unlike the ocean's so freaking big and mysterious.
It is. It really is. Well, that's fun theory number one. Fun theory.
Sure. I mean, I don't know. That sounds reasonable.
Prove it or disprove it. I was like, maybe. I don't know. I mean, it is a weird location where you are getting an awful lot of weather from 3 different spots. So it could create for some dangerous ocean waves and crazy weather patterns, maybe just in that triangle.
But why airplanes?
Well, we'll see. Well, I mean, if they're 100 feet, the waves.
I mean, how planes don't fly that low.
But couldn't the airplane just go higher?
Or is it like an airplane that's the kind that like floats on the water? Or are these the kind that we're talking about?
Some of these are like military aircraft, is that they're doing like training here.
There's no way they're only 100 feet above the
water. And then like also air traffic or air, like commercial taking people to these destinations. So
there's no way they're flying that low.
I don't think they're all like, personal, like the smaller ones. You know what I mean?
And even like, small private they don't fly 100 feet above the water. Like, that's way too low.
But maybe it makes weird weather patterns. I don't know.
I don't know. Like, the ship maybe sounds plausible.
We'll put a maybe by that one.
Yeah. Maybe for sea vessels. I don't understand why that would apply to planes.
Okay. Well, let's get into the next fun theory. Magnetic forces causing compass malfunctions.
Yeah, I've heard of stuff like this elsewhere too.
So the Bermuda Triangle is one of 2 places on the Earth where compasses point to true north, the geographic North Pole, rather than magnetic north, which is the shifting magnetic North Pole. That's according to how stuff works. So some theories have suggested that the agnostic line, the point where the magnetic and true north are perfectly aligned, passes through the Bermuda Triangle, which results in a magnetic phenomenon, which could explain cases where pilots and ship captains claim their compasses cease to work properly, causing them to veer off course.
Okay, like that's fine. I still don't understand why that equates into you crashing or vanishing.
Well, according to the scientists here, they said the problem with this theory, though, is that the early 18th century scientists discovered that the oceanic line shifts each year. So while it did pass through the Bermuda Triangle at one point, now it goes through the Gulf of Mexico. So they're like, maybe at one point that could have been an explanation, but not for. Hang on, Birdie's eating something. Birdie, what are you eating? Sorry, I don't know what she's eating.
Coffee filter.
Probably. Who knows? This dog eats anything. Now, this is my favorite theory. This goes back to farting. It's called methane bubbles.
I think I've heard this theory before.
So this is what they say. A series of huge craters discovered on the seabed around the coast of Norway in 2016 may also give scientists vital information in solving the mystery of the Devil's Triangle. The craters measure up to half a mile wide and are 150 feet deep, and are believed to have been formed by bubbles of largely methane gas leaking from deposits of oil and gas buried deep in the sea floor. Once these gases reach a critical mass before bursting to the surface, they can cause large eruptions. So basically, you just happen to go, like you just happen to get hit by the fart bubble, and you're just gone forever.
You got taken out by Earth's fart. I love it.
Hey, man, this is how I'm going. Like, I literally went out by the Earth's fart? Are you fucking kidding me?
That'd be incredible.
That's my favorite theory. I'm just gonna say right now, I like the methane bubble theory.
If I had to go at sea, that's all I'd want to go. That way, whenever I get to like the afterlife, and people are like, oh yeah, I got taken out by like a car crash or heart attack, you'd be like, the earth farted me to death. Beat that.
I mean, that's the way to go. Basically, that is the way to go. So that's my favorite theory. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I like that one.
I like the methane bubble theory.
Death by farts.
Death by farts.
Fancy farts.
All right, next one is Atlantis.
Okay.
One of the more outlandish conspiracy theories.
I love how it's a conspiracy theory, not a theory.
Around the Bermuda Triangle is the location of the mythical lost city of Atlantis. The Independent recounts one blog post to explain when Atlantis was destroyed, it sank to the very bottom of the ocean. While the ruined temples now play host to multitudes of underwater creatures, the great Atlantean fire crystals that once provided so much of the tremendous power and energy that was found in Atlantis still exists. So they feel like that energy creates these wrecks. I'm not really following that one.
That would be located around Florida?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
trying to populate their city.
The fart bubble more.
Listen, Atlantis is trying to populate their city.
Okay. That's their prerogative.
All right, and this is also a great one. Aliens.
Okay.
The Sun explains that some writers have blamed UFOs for the disappearances and that they believe that aliens use the triangle as a portal to travel to and from our planet. Some believe that the area is like a gathering station where they capture people, ships, and aircraft to conduct research.
That one sounds interesting because I have heard of sightings that are very similar to what's been reported at Skinwalker Ranch, which also sounds like that same kind of portal.
My two I love are aliens and the Earth's poot.
The Earth's poot. Yeah.
Those are my two favorites.
I actually think the most rational sounds like the waves, but not for aircrafts.
Yeah, I mean, it does make sense, because it is kind of a really weird spot. Now, are you ready for me to just rip this rug out from under you? Because here at Stormy Willow, we say that we are a balanced. We do a balanced investigation. So here's probably what really happened. I feel like I'm on Clue. It could have been this. It could have been that. Here's what really happened. So
everybody, empty your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses.
Yeah. Here we go. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we gotta. Okay. Remember whenever. First, let's talk about Atlantis. Okay. Let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. So the stories that captivated, obviously the fun stories that I just told you are ones that are captivated the public, right? Because we all believe that there's something else out there. So Atlantis, people are like, yes, this is a lost city, and it makes sense that these, all this is happening. Well, so it was, let's see, where do I want to start with this? All right, so basically they're just saying that there's no way you can prove that, or aliens. They're just it's just there's no proof of any of it. We can't prove that it's aliens. There's no scientific proof about Atlantis. So we can basically just take those off the drawing board.
But you also can't even prove that these actually disappeared.
That's true too.
I mean, but okay, let's think of crimes though. No body, no crime. But you still know the person was probably murdered.
That's true. So, do you remember when we first started the story and I told you about the military, the U.S. Navy aircraft that went missing and the Navy said cause unknown?
Yeah.
Here's what really happened, guys.
Somebody partied too much and were Barbados? Is that what you're saying?
Charles Taylor and the 5 planes, which the U.S. Navy investigated, the investigation actually found that it got dark outside and the weather had changed, and Taylor had navigated the planes in the wrong location. Taylor also had a history of getting lost while flying. He had twice needed to be rescued in the Pacific Ocean. The Navy itself had a good idea of what had happened and ahead of the disappearance, but the incident was ultimately described as cause unknown because Taylor's mother didn't want her son to go down and be embarrassed for not being a really good pilot. And so the Navy said that they couldn't find the aircraft or say for sure what happened because they didn't want him to go down. And so they said they would just say case unknown.
That makes me wonder about all these unknown cases in the military. Is it just a bunch of fucking morons that don't know what they're doing?
Also, most of the pilots involved in the incident were trainees, and they weren't properly taught how to use all the aircraft instruments when flying at night or in bad weather. So you take people that don't know, that already have a really bad track record, let them train people who know nothing and just say go. So it's not even the Bermuda Triangle. That could have been a deadly situation anywhere. Okay, so yeah, so there's that. What's more is the aircraft had been flying, so the aircraft that they had been flying was known to sink in as little as 45 seconds if they landed in water. And so once the aircraft sank in the vast ocean, which is extremely rare these days, they are truly usually never found again.
Which I buy, right? Because the ocean moves, it's really deep. You're never going to find them.
So that's all it's really not that.
What if it was a little bit of sabotage, from the military? These people are not great. Let's send them on a training exercise and get rid of them.
It's really bad, right?
Whoa.
I feel some sort of way about that. I was like, oh God. It's especially if somebody has gotten lost a few times. Why would you even have him with trainees? It just seems very irresponsible. And why wouldn't you just pull him? I don't know. I'm just gonna let that be. But that's what really happened, according
Sounds like the government. Typical.
Yeah. So, despite obviously there's been a lot of improvements with aircraft technology and search and rescue methods, but for instance, only a small amount of debris from the Malaysia airline, which was a big one that disappeared in 2014, has been found. So they actually have found some wreckage. So the saying everything vanishes for sure isn't quite true. So let's get to the Cyclops. Remember the Cyclops?
Okay. Yep.
All right. So while the sinking of the Cyclops still remains a mystery, the incident could have happened anywhere between Barbados and Baltimore, not necessarily in Bermuda.
Oh, this is the one that I was thinking was partying too much in Barbados.
So proponents of the Bermuda Triangle theory point to the lack of distress call as evidence of a paranormal end for the vessel, but the truth is the wireless communications in 1918 were not reliable, and they wouldn't have been basically been unusual for a rapidly sinking vessel to not have had a chance to actually get the call out. So while the disappearance of the ship, the Sulphur Queen, was also mentioned in several books and about the Triangle.
That name is just really cool. The Sulphur Queen. That sounds like a band.
I like the Cyclops too. But the
Cyclops Sulphur Queen.
Yes, I do love it. But authors don't always include the Coast Guard did conclude that the vessel was in deplorable shape and should have never even been at sea at all.
Oh, that's great.
Fires erupted with regularity on the ship, and also the class of vessel was known to have a weak back, which means that the keel would split when weakened by corrosion, causing the ship to break in two. The ship's structure had been further compromised by a conversion from its original mission as an oil tanker to carry in molten sulfur. The conversion had left the vessel with an extremely high center of gravity, increasing the chance that it would capsize. So the SS Marine Sulphur Queen was all in all a disaster waiting to happen, and it seems unfair to blame this demise on the Devil's Triangle. So basically, it's like they're just putting our military on these pieces of shit and sending them out like the Bermuda Triangle.
Here's a paper boat. Here you go. Good luck.
Yes. I'm like, so this is basically horrible theories on a whole different...
And they wonder why people aren't joining the military.
Right. Here you go. Here you go.
Just one reason, people.
Just one. So last year, an Australian scientist, I must call him Carl K. Because he has a crazy last name. But he claimed that the high number of disappearances really cannot be explained by aliens or Atlantis, or even by more plausible theories involving rogue waves. Instead, he suggests that the mystery is nothing more than a perfect mix of human error, bad weather, and high correction of ships in the area. He says you have to remember that this area is close to the equator, near a wealthy part of the world, America, therefore you have a lot of traffic. That's what he told the Independent. And so according to Lloyd's of London, which is the insurance company, the U.S. and the U.S. Coast Guard, the number that go missing in the Bermuda Triangle is actually the same as anywhere in the world on a percentage basis. So
okay,
really,
I was about to say, are they looking at counts or percentages?
Percentages. So
it's on par.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not saying that there still aren't aliens or something spooky happening out there, but
I'm not saying that there's not a megalodon out there or giant krakens or Nessie. Like, there's all sorts of shit out there that you don't need to be messing with.
So yeah, but I think the true story is like, why are we putting people on aircrafts and ships like this?
Yeah.
Anyway, not just the Bermuda Triangle, but anywhere. Like, that's terrible.
I'm trying to think that you said it was the Malaysian aircraft in 2014. Was that the one? There was. I feel like it's that one, but it might have been one later. But didn't they figure out that flight was actually being hijacked?
Oh, really? Maybe.
I can't remember though. Like, don't quote me on that. But
yeah, I just focused. I mean, it could have been. I didn't focus like on every story. I probably should have, but I just wanted to do like a general and then the theories. But it could have been.
It might have been later than that though. I think it might have been like 2018-ish. But there was like something weird with like.
I do feel like that sounds familiar.
An aircraft. And it sounded like around like from that Malaysia. Like that just sounds familiar. Then I don't know.
That's crazy. So, knowing what you know now, would you take a flight through the Bermuda Triangle?
Maybe a flight.
I know I might get you on a ship anywhere.
Period. Right, exactly. But no.
Would you be like nervous being like
cruise through there?
Would you be nervous like being like, I'm gonna go to Bermuda, but I have my flights going through the Bermuda Triangle? Would you feel a little nervous, or would you just like, it'll be fine?
If it weren't a military vessel, sure, I'd be fine.
No, I think I would still be nervous just because knowing that it is a little harder to navigate in that area. But I mean, I guess that's probably true for other places around the world as well.
Like, I don't even want to know, like, the number of times my pilot has probably been like, wait, where are we? Or like disoriented and you just
drunk or just think about days that you're just out of it on your job. You know, like, it happens, or maybe they've been doing like back-to-back flights.
I remember with the out-of-body experiences episode that I did a while back, where like apparently pilots experience that a lot, and they feel like they're not in the cockpit; they're actually like on the wing.
So it's kind of like
it's just them being tired and delirious.
Right. So true. So that's a yes for you. You're like, sign me up. Let's go to Bermuda.
Let's do it. Actually, I just texted you because, Dad's birthday is also on the 18th. And,
yeah, you did.
It looks like they have cruises that go...
Oh!
Like Twilight cruises in the Bermuda Triangle. Might be a good gift.
I don't know if I want him to experience that.
He would, his luck with that. No, we're not doing that for him.
I'm like, don't you dare. It does look. I'm looking at it. It does look beautiful.
So I don't know. Maybe that's something Stormy Willow can do.
Stormy Willow Bermuda cruises. You wouldn't be on that. I would. You all would get stuck with me because the tail's not going on there. I can tell you that right now.
I could give the land tour and be like, the vessel is
You're like,
seaworthy.
not now. Not after what happened with this lighthouse. You're like, hell no. So yeah, there you have it. There's the story on the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, doesn't sound so spooky after all.
I know. I was a
Other
little like,
than the ocean.
oh, I know. And the grade of military aircraft and ships.
Yeah,
That is scary.
the common story it's starting to sound like is just cases of negligence and not
so
paranormal activity.
I know. So I was a little bummed about that,
Yeah, it's a bummer.
but I'd already invested too much. So I want to thank my sources. A lot of cool information there. So if you have a trip to Bermuda this summer,
Probably feel
you'll be
good
all
about
right.
it.
I mean, you'll be fine.
As long as it's not
Fine.
like a military
Yeah, you'll be completely
vessel,
fine.
you're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
You will be fine. So with that, you want to spin the wheel and see what you're going to tell us about next week?
Sure.
You know, if you could fit us in during your birthday and all.
Yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to be pretty crazy partying, I guess. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready. If you're just listening, we're spinning this wheel that's going to give us a topic. Oh,
Aliens / ETs. Okay.
I like it.
All right. That sounds good. I got it.
Sounds really good. I can't wait.
Okay. That's so funny because they're again tagging Paranormal 60. I love Dave Schrader, by the way. Like, he's such a great host, and I remember him on the Holster Files. He's even investigated with like Zach Bagans and people like that. He has his podcast. And just a really, really lovely guy. And he was talking about aliens on the episode I was listening to. So there's a lot to choose from there. So hopefully I do him proud in case he listens to our show.
Oh my gosh, yes. Well, before we leave, I'm throwing you a curveball, but it's our last recording before your birthday. Do you want to open one of your birthday presents?
I can.
Or maybe the little ones.
Little
the big ones.
Like what? I don't know. I've been putting everything in my closet waiting for my birthday.
Do you have one that's like this size?
The size of Africa?
No, the size of the paper.
The size of the I don't know. Let me go see.
Okay. I'm so sorry. I completely threw her a curveball, but
Do
you want to or do you want to wait?
No, I can. There's like two. One's smaller.
Yeah, you can open those. And then you have a big box too, right?
You want me to open both of these?
But do you still have a big box?
Yeah, there's like another box.
Okay, don't open the box, but you can open these.
You want me to open these?
Yes.
That say do not bend?
Yes.
Okay. I can. Are you sure you want me to?
Are you sure you want to?
It doesn't matter to me.
I think you should.
Everybody.
It's our last one before.
Okay. I always get in trouble. You're always like, don't open it early. All right, here I go. I'm opening this one. The smaller of the two. Let's see what it is. Oh, nice. It's can you see that?
Yes.
It's the Houdinis.
It's the Houdinis.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's sweet. They're definitely gonna go on my wall of fame.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Love it.
Yes.
I wish I could get it autographed.
Well, so this Halloween we're definitely gonna do a seance.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the closest thing I can get.
Yes. Well, you just wait. This is my favorite.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see what this one is. I can see you're biting your lip.
Okay. That is Harry's wife on the last seance she did trying to contact Harry.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that chair. She looks just the same, just cooler hair.
That crazy. That was the very last one.
So
she was trying to contact him.
That's so cool.
I had to get that one too.
Yeah, she aged so well.
Didn't she?
I love that. That is so awesome.
I had to get it.
That's really cool. Thank you so much.
You're
I'll definitely frame
welcome.
those and put them up there with
Yes.
Elvis and Elvira.
Yes, I thought it went really well with, if you haven't listened to our Houdini episode, Adele like knocked it out of the ballpark. It
I can
was
tell
such
you
an
just really love that one.
episode. And so yeah, I loved it. So I had to get those. I thought they were so sweet. So I hope you
That
like them.
episode was truly magical.
It really was. And
Thanks
I
to
just
Bess and Harry, though. It was all
yes,
them.
I love the picture of Beth on her last seance trying to to contact
Oh
Harry.
yeah, that's so awesome. I didn't know they actually documented that.
I didn't either. And I was like, oh, I
I
have to
didn't
get
even
it.
see that on Google or anything. Where did you find that?
Etsy.
That's so cool.
I just thought it was so cool. I'm like, oh, and I just thought the picture of them together and then her trying to contact him after was just a really pretty statement. So,
Yeah, and she has like the notepad and the candle, a
yes, isn't that
chalkboard.
so cool?
I'm assuming one of these gentlemen should be like, I think her manager at the time.
Oh, we'll have to look and see.
Um, yeah, that's awesome. No,
Yes,
those
I
are
thought you would
awesome.
really love it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it would be appropriate for you to open on the podcast.
Yeah, that's cool.
And if you
That's
haven't listened
fun.
to that episode, go listen to it. And Adele, happy birthday week. I can't believe you're going to be 35.
I can't decide if it feels like I should be older or not.
Well, you're definitely more mature than I am at 40, but it's just be more wise. Not mature, I would say wise. You're definitely wise.
I don't know. It's just weird. It's like some things that happened like 4 years ago. I'm like, that wasn't like 10 years ago. And then other things I'm like, that was 20 years ago.
I know. I know. Well, one of my tattoos that came up on a memory and wasn't even one of my first ones. And it's like, you got this 10 years ago. I'm like, but I've had this for 10 years on my body. What have I been doing?
Yeah. What's weird about that though is like, it's to me, it's not that that was 10 years ago. It's that you were only 30 when you got it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
That's
like,
so
oh,
true.
10
Like,
years doesn't sound, I was only 30, you know?
yeah, that was a decade ago. So,
Yeah, and that's like it's 2022. Like I'm three years away from a 20-year high school like,
yeah,
like I'm like that's kind of
weird.
crazy.
It is. Time is weird.
Yeah,
It's very weird. Well,
it is.
I hope you have a lovely week and happy birthday. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you, and I hope you have a great week. Any Leo birthdays out there? I know our dad. Happy birthday to you, even though you don't listen to the podcast. Whatever. And anybody else out there celebrating, have a great week. And as we say here, stay safe,
Stay
stay
curious,
curious,
and
and never
don't
trust
trust
the
living.
living. Bye, you guys.
Bye.